About to head out on the Katy Trail from Windsor, Missouri to Sedalia, Missouri. We're doing it a little different this time. More about that later. But for now, let's hit the trail.
Well, our second attempt to ride from Windsor to Sedalia. We're kind of doing it a little different this time though, because we're only going halfway and turning back, and then we're going to drive to Sedalia and do the same tomorrow, because we had a technical problem with our panniers this week, so we can't carry our gear on the bikes. So we're doing the same mileage, just a different way around. And it's just started fall. It's the 28th of September. And it's beautiful.
This is where the Rock Island Spur crosses under the Katy Trail. And it shoots off north of the Katy Trail. We were minding this marker. There's a little gouge in the middle of the road. Somebody marked it with a stick. And then Graham yelled, "Turtle!" A little turtle buddy.
He's shy.
He is shy.
So the last time we did a section of the Katy Trail was on our e-bikes, which are really heavy, and especially we made ourselves a challenge that we would not use the power assist unless we really had to. So we pedaled most of it, and it was hard work. We went from Clinton to Windsor, stayed the night, and then cycled back the next day. Since we did that one, we've moved on to lightweight mountain bikes. I've changed some of the gearing on the Ann's bike. I've changed the steering head on this one because I was getting neck ache. So, and we've done some work to our seat post as well. So we pretty much fitted them out. So this time should be a lot more enjoyable. We'll let you know later on.
There are places on this Katy Trail that are prairie restoration areas, which I applaud. However, those are the areas without any shade, because you're in a prairie. And they're long stretches like this one. So I'm glad it's only 70 some degrees today, because the last time we did the Katy Trail, it was close to 90. And these stretches were hot.
The reason you can see Leanne up in the distance is because my glasses mounted mirror, rear view mirror, decided to fly off. It's another one I'm trying. I had one that was stuck to the inside of the helmet. That one didn't work. This one clicked on the side of your glasses, and for a time it worked, but then all of a sudden it started moving. So I guess it's back to the drawing board. Ooh, the wind's getting up. Go.
Coming into Bryson. I think that was Bryson. Whew. As you can see, we've got just a stupid long exposed stretch ahead of us. Also, whew, I'll try to point you down here at the ground. Look at all the horseshoe prints. You can also get a look at how sort of sandy this is. A lot of ridges in it right now, so you gotta kind of watch it. But the horseshoes are kind of fun.
Well, we've done about 3.5 miles. I don't know whether you can see by the treetops. I don't know whether the camera's catching it. It's pretty breezy, but it's beautiful. It's a nice sunny day, and the breeze is kind of keeping us cool. But it would be nicer if it wasn't a headwind. Woo. This is all arable farming land. Over on the right there, I don't know if you see, they've cut the corn down. We're definitely out of the Ozarks and into the plains area of Missouri. Nice change not to have to climb hills. If you can see Leanne in the foreground, in the distance, she's just reached the highest point of the Katy Trail.
Oh, we're coming up on the high point of the Katy Trail. Yahoo!
The comments a little outlet.
955 feet. A high point on the Katy Trail. Even though looking up this road, it looks like it's higher down there. That's so funny. 955 feet above sea level, the summit of the Katy Trail State Park, standing on the Osage Plains. We have a little picnic area, a little bench, and a bike rack. Missouri farmlands in the distance, all you can see from the high point of the Katy Trail. This is what most of the trail looks like, at least as far as we've been on it so far. It's shaded and very peaceful.
Hopefully or not. No? Okay. What a beautiful little turtle. He's been in the wars. He's got scars all in there. He's got a scar there. Another one there.
We're having a debate about how to tell if they're male or female.
Just ask him. This is the view that we think of whenever we're talking about the Katy Trail. These tree-lined avenues. Oh, hang on, we got an obstruction. I'll just wait for him to cross.
Oh, we're coming into Camp Branch, which we decided that's as far as we're cycling today. We're going to turn around and head back to Green Ridge and have lunch, and then back to Windsor, back into Green Ridge, and it's time for lunch. So we just finished our lunch. I'm sure I look a fright because I have sweaty bike helmet hair, but anyway, at Green Ridge, Missouri, which has a nice little trailhead. There's also a city park like just a block away if you wanted like a picnic table or anything. And we met an older gentleman. He had on a Ragbri t-shirt, so as he was walking away from the water fountain, I said, "We're admiring your ragbri jersey."
Explain to them what ragbri is.
Okay. So, if you don't know, ragbri is a... Will you explain?
It's
It's a...
5 day? Yeah, 5-day ride across Iowa.
But it's pretty much a...
It's all for charity.
It's all for charity, and it's pretty much a party ride
Yeah.
across Iowa. Like, all the towns turn out along the route and are giving away stuff for selling food items, and they have like bubble parties, and they have, I don't know, just all kinds of craziness.
There's a beer.
It's a heavily supported thing. Just look up ragbri. It looks like heck of a lot of fun. Anyway, it's on our bucket list. So we saw this guy with a ragbri t-shirt, and I said, "Oh, or ragbri jersey." And I said, "Oh, we're admiring your ragbri jersey." And he says, "I've done it 9 times." We're like, "What?" That's so cool, because it's, like I said, it's on our bucket list of things to do before we die. But you're putting in some heavy miles each day in the middle of summer, and it's Iowa, so there's not a lot of shade, but it does look super fun.
To give you some idea of what this guy's like, he's doing the Katy Trail. His wife's supporting him in the car, but he wants to do the whole Katy Trail in 4 days. So he's doing 60, 70 miles a day.
And I'd say he's probably in his 70s, you
Yeah.
think? Yeah. Yep. So kudos to him. Anyway, back to the trail. Look how vivid this one is. I picked him up and I think he peed on me, or tried to anyway.
He's a little baby.
He's a baby. So pretty though. We made it back to the high point. My legs are starting to feel it now. We're 17 miles in. So we're taking a little breaky poo at the high point.
Well, we're just coming up to mile 22-ish of the day. Making our way back to Windsor. We're not far from it now, a couple of miles. It's been a beautiful day. The bikes have behaved themselves well today. Had no issues. I'm looking forward to doing it again tomorrow.
We are back in Windsor. We'll roll down here to the trailhead and take a picture. Jump in the car and drive to Sedalia. But we did it. Whee! Oh, we're going to talk about a product right now. I'm going to let Graham handle this one. Graham?
For Father's Day, I've been looking at this thing, and I guess Leanne mentioned it to the kids, and the kids all got together and bought it for me. It's the Zen Vivi quilt. But in fact, it's a system. Now, we already had our air pads, or air mats, which are just basic rectangular ones, and these fit perfectly on it. But what happens is you've got a sheet that fits over the ends, and there's a strap underneath the middle. Keep it all on. So you've got so you're actually lying on a sheet. It's got a hood. Now you can use that 2 ways. You can stick your head in there, and I actually woke up this morning and saw Leanne had it over her face because the sun was lighting up the tent. So she's got a darker one than me, but I use it for actually. I don't know if any of you go camping and your pillow always ends up off the end of the mat. Well, it doesn't on this one because it's stuck in there now. It's great. But the quilt hooks onto these little flaps on the sheet, and you can close up the foot. I did last night, but it was so warm I undid it and I kicked my legs out. And it's so much more versatile. And if you've got to get out of the thing, you just literally throw it off like you do a normal quilt, and you're out. whereas with a sleeping bag you've got to unzip it, and that usually sticks. I am never going back to a sleeping bag again. So as the kids bought me one, I only thought it was right. Well, the answer to that one. So she's got this colour, which is a nice blue and what do we call that? Green.
Yeah.
And I've got the orange and black one. They're not cheap. I think this one was about 170.
And it's the lightweight
and it's
version.
the lightweight one. Yeah, it's not the heavy duty all season one. But if anyone is in the market for new sleeping gear, pay the extra and get one of these, because we were worried that you'd have cold spots, like your butt would stick out in the middle of the night, especially if you're a side sleeper like me, but it doesn't.
And you can secure them on both sides,
Yeah.
and the quilt actually goes up under you, so you're
Yeah, it's got a it's got, because you've hooked it there, you've got this much quilt that actually lays on the pad, and then the rest of it comes over you. But like Leanne said, if you wanted to enclose yourself, there's another set of hooks, and there's another flap on this side as well. But yeah, it's brilliant.
It's so good.
And maybe you're like me and your temperature fluctuates all night. It's perfect for that. So you can kick yourself out of it, roll it back up into it. It's perfect. Something else new that we're trying on this trip is like making our own camp meals, because we're tired of paying $10, $12 a meal for prepackaged camp meals. We're doing little experiments with these Norpacks, and we've found that if you boil the water, Graham bought these little silicone bowls, boil the water, pour it over this stuff, let it sit for 15 minutes or so, and then we added a pack of this chicken to it for a little bit more protein, and voila, you have a camp meal that costs under $3 a person.
Yeah, not $12 to $15.
Right. So I think this is the way we're going to go from here on out.
It's 7:36 and it's time for another bike ride. This morning we are leaving Sedalia trailhead and then cycling back to the halfway point that we went to yesterday. At this trailhead they have restrooms and they have a little playground area, a mini park, which I would show you more of, but there's someone sleeping over there. But now, onto the trail.
Well, good morning. This is our second day out. And we're leaving Sedalia and heading back towards Green Ridge. Not quite. It's about 7:45 in the morning, and it's chilly.
I think we have 8.5 miles one way. I mean, out to where we stopped yesterday. So 16, 17 miles today, which won't be bad. And we're on a much earlier start. I like a picnic table. These houses here are cute. All right, time to ride. There's a deer ahead. I think that's a deer. Yep. 2 deer. Ooh, hope that caught it. There it is. All right, we're coming up on Camp Branch, which is where we rode to yesterday. So we'll cross the road, turn around, and head back. My GoPro's done wonky. Woohoo! We are on our way back to Sedalia We're gonna pull into this park. There's a little sign here. What's it called? Cloverdale Regional Park. And it looks beautiful from the roadway. Oh, so pretty. Oh, look at this. Well, this is a pretty park.
Yeah.
Said they have a disc golf, a dog park. Looks like they've got ball fields or something over there. Oh, it's so pretty. And it makes a nice stop if you're riding the Katy Trail. Well, while we have this pretty backdrop, we wanted to talk to you about our experience last night at Sedalia, at the Missouri State Fairgrounds here in Sedalia, right? Because it's listed on the Katy Trail as one of the top places to camp if you're riding. And the campground itself is pretty nice, and it only cost us $12 to tent camp. But it was very noisy at night because there was a factory nearby. Is that what we can hear right now in the background?
We can actually hear it now, and we're a mile away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest issue were the bathrooms, and I'll let Graham take over from here.
Okay. I walked into the men's bathroom last night, and let's just say you can't be modest. The bathroom cubicles are literally 3 foot by 3 foot. Just enough room to put the actual toilet in. So when you're sat on it, your feet are out in the aisle, out in the main room. There's no door, all right? There's no curtain, there's no door, and there's 8 of these.
I would be horrified.
Can you imagine 8 of them all lined up and people waiting at a fair to use the bathroom, and they're stood there waiting for these guys to get up off the pad? I can't believe it.
I know, no doors.
No.
At all. People complain about the US because of the big gaps between in the doors, in the bathroom doors.
Yeah, that freaks me out.
But this is worse. This is no doors.
But and then the shower is literally one big room. It's like going back to elementary school, or our secondary school, where we had communal showers. It literally is one room, and all the shower taps are all around the outside, and they're like that far apart. And yeah,
no partitions.
No partitions, nothing.
Just an open room.
Yeah, and it all drains off. And yeah.
Needless to say, we were up pretty early, so Graham could get in the shower before anybody else did this morning. The women's bathroom was a little bit better. We did have doors on the toilet stalls and enough room to navigate. And then the shower situation was like 2 sort of rounds partitioned into 6 different shower areas. I mean, there were walls between you, and there were shower curtains, so you did have some privacy in the women's restroom. And the water was hot in the women's restroom. I guess not so much in the men's. So,
going back to the noise though, we had a really funny moment last night. We just got into bed,
which I caught on camera, so hopefully it turned out. You'll see it in a second.
And I happen to say this is probably the noisiest campground we've ever been to. Not dissing it or nothing, but it just as a record. And the whole fire station went out.
Yeah, just as soon as he finished that statement.
Yeah, it was
sirens all around. We've decided this is the noisiest campground we've ever stayed at. I don't know if you can hear this. There's some like factory noise or something. There's sirens. Those police and fire truck sirens.
The horse and cattle.
Yeah, there's the horses. in the fairgrounds here. Yeah, so just be aware. Sedalia campground. Be very tired if you're camping here. Good thing we are. And we've stayed at some weird places, but we probably won't be back to the
For 12 bucks.
Missouri State Fairgrounds.
The actual sites themselves are quite good.
Yeah, the sites are nice.
I mean, if you're RVing it, they'd be perfect. They're full hookup.
Yep. And they were getting ready this weekend for a Airstream rally of some sort.
Yeah.
They were already starting to show up last night, so that was kind of cool to see the Airstream trailers.
We love riding on the Katy Trail, and we hear it only gets better the farther east we go. And yes, we're already planning our next ride. Thanks for coming along for this one. Until next time, thanks for watching.